GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
The Chennai Mobiles Varangum Vivo V40 series. Buy now.
Jensen and Nicholson Paints. Whenever you see color, think of us.
लड़का कौन है? She told me it's Rajkummar, and I had just seen LSD and I was petrified of him. After like 45 minutes, he looked at me and he's like, "So what do you do?" I said, "I've just done this ad," and I was giving him full attitude. And then he's like, "This ad," and I could see there's a shift in him. And then later he told me apparently when he saw that particular ad, he was like, "अरे इस लड़की से तो शादी करनी चाहिए."
Oh my god! When did you start dating?
We started dating in 2010-11.
Oh,
Yeah.
उसके तुरंत बाद
उसके
from
तुरंत बाद उसके.
How many times did you break up with him?
I think only once.
अच्छा, you did break up once.
Yeah.
For a
No, for like 5-6 days. Not even 5-6, 3-4 days. After that breakup, we kind of told each other that let's not do this, you know. It's not making you happy or me happy. And plus, let's not take it that lightly. If you see that video closely, you'll be like, there you can see the shock in me when he says, "Mujhe bhi lagao." Because not that we thought we'll do something like this, and we didn't even realize that this can go viral, and it did. And I told my parents. Raj also had come with me, and we spoke about it that we are going to get married. And my dad was so freaking thrilled, and we got the date also, November. And in April, my dad passed away. But my mom was like, "You must do it. You should do it because, you know, your dad's going to be there." Because he always knew that was the day. The thing about your parents passing away is you think they're going to be there for eternity. The next call that I gave was to my brother that that's no more, apparently. And I know he just went, his brains couldn't take it. My dad didn't make it. And we had to get his body back to Shillong, right? And without a blink of an eyelid, whether we could afford it or not even once was asked to me or to Raj. He booked a private charter from Chandigarh to Shillong. Because
I feel like Patraekhaa, the thing is that you have started on your own, right? You guys are from the best film school ever, and people who are from
I didn't go to FTI, but Raj did.
No, but you didn't go.
No, I'm not from any school.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
And I thought that you are.
No.
Didn't you guys meet because?
Yeah, we did meet at FTI because my friend was studying there and she was making a music video. FTI makes this music video with all their students, like the just to show that particular director and his video. My friend called me and said that, "Do you want to come?" I said, "I want to come, but I'm earning a lot of money. So how much are you giving me?" She's like, "No, ऐसे मत बोल यार, तू तेरी दोस्त के लिए नहीं कर सकते." I said, "ठीक है, मैं आ रही हूँ." लड़का कौन है? She told me it's Rajkummar, and I had just seen LSD, and I was petrified of him. I was genuinely freaking petrified of that guy, and I still remember his name in the movie, Adarsh. And I was like, "Shit, Rukhsana, I can't come. I'm super scared." She's like, "तू पागल है क्या? वो बहुत अच्छा आदमी है. अच्छा, तू उसके साथ बैठ के आजा गाड़ी में, सब सही होगा." I was like, "Listen, I'm not traveling alone." So I went to my sister and I said, "Please come with me, Parna. I'm super scared." And Parna was like, "Okay, fine, I'll come." And I made her sit in between both of us. And then she was like happily chatting and I was pinching her. Hey, don't talk to strangers. Yeah, he's super weird. And then after like 45 minutes, he looked at me and he's like, "So what do you do?" I said, "I've just done this ad." And I was giving him full attitude. And then he's like, "This ad?" And I could see there's a shift in him. And then later he told me apparently when he saw that particular ad, he was like, "अरे इस लड़की से तो शादी करनी चाहिए."
Oh my god!
Yeah.
And look.
Yeah.
I think he manifested it. Which year was it that he manifested this?
I think 2010.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
My god!
Yeah.
This I didn't know.
Yeah. You ask him when you're next.
No, we'll ask him together. But you know, this film is about breakup.
Yeah.
It's about love. It's about friendship.
Yeah.
Who are the people? How many times did you and Raj break up in that 12 years, 14 years of courtship? I want to know. When did you start dating?
We started dating in 2010-11.
Oh,
Yeah.
उसके तुरंत बाद
उसके
from
तुरंत बाद उसके.
how did that shift happen?
Listen, I was so inspired. So the moment I reached FTI, I love the culture. You know, people are so free and it's so creatively
That's true.
charged, right? And then I just saw Raj working for a music video so hard. I was like, this man is something else. And then I started talking to him, and he was talking about his love for the craft. And I was so inspired, Nayan, because until then I didn't meet too many people who love the art form so much. I met a lot of amazing people while I was auditioning who were just trying to become more famous, get into the stereotype of being that hero or heroine, which is nothing
Yeah.
wrong. It's amazing, you know. But just to see Raj's love for his craft really inspired me, and I think that's what attracted me the most to him. And I kind of like, मैं उसके पीछे भी पड़ गई थी यार, मेरे को भी सीखना है, because I had no formal training. And I think it started with a relationship where he was trying to help me learn the craft, and then we kind of like fell in love.
But at the same time, when you were dating him, how many times did you break up with him?
I think only once.
Acha, you did break up once.
Yeah.
For a
No, for like 5-6 days. Not even 5-6, 3-4 days. But you know, the thing with me and Raj is, or was, after that breakup, we kind of told each other that let's not do this, you know. It's not making you happy or me happy. And plus, let's not take it that lightly. कि आज breakup बोल दिया तो breakup हो गया. A relationship cannot be that frivolous and that, what do you call? It can't be that এত তাড়াতাড়ি ভাঙা উচিত না.
ভাঙা যায় না, দ্যাটস ট্রু। রিলেশনশিপ যদি সত্যিকারের মানে হয় না জেনুইন, তাহলে অত তাড়াতাড়ি ভাঙা যায় না। ইউ ক্যানট রিয়েলি ওয়ার্ক আউট অফ ইট।
এটা বলা উচিত না, because the universe has yours, it's listening.
Yeah, but I'm happy. It's okay. कुछ टाइम झगड़ा होता रहता है, इसमें क्या बड़ी बात है?
लगता है तुम्हारा बहुत झगड़ा होता रहता है.
मेरे तो रिश्ते ही नहीं है.
अच्छा, क्योंकि मम्मी इधर बैठी है.
No, my mom, please, I send all the potential options to my mother first.
Oh,
and then my mother approves, and then I speak. Everybody who I'm not talking to, it's because of my mother.
Dude, I kind of know what you're saying. It's very strange because I did the same. Is this also a Bengali thing?
I don't know.
Oh shit, I'm getting goosebumps.
God, it is
I'm
so
getting
crazy.
goosebumps, yeah.
I'm telling you, my mother, I've come and cried. Oh, I've made a mistake. বাংলায় আমি সব বলছি, আমি এত বড় ভুল করে ফেললাম, কি করে? আমার বলছে, শোন, তো সবে শুরু। রাইট লোক পাওয়ার আগে অনেক মিস্টেক করতে হবে। This is what my mother said. I'm not kidding.
My mom said that to me.
Oh my God.
What is this now?
I don't know. There's some karmic connection. My mother did say that. And it was crazy, and I was like so emotional. Then we started laughing, and we were like, "So it's crazy."
No, but moms understand a vibe.
I do believe that. Like, I don't think now, I would ever like to even think of a future with somebody, like a little future, so this beginning of the future with somebody who my mom is not
doesn't
okay
approve
with.
of.
It's okay. I can let go of that.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, how were your parents? When did you tell your parents about Raj, and what was their reaction?
So I had gone to watch LSD in the theater with my mother, and it was a single screen theater because Shillong didn't have like PVRs then.
That's true.
Then. And my mom was shocked. She's like, "You're going to that theater? It's a little unbelievable." I said, "But Mama, he's my friend. Just calm na." And then my mom knew it then. She was like, "I just knew it. You wouldn't do that for any of your friend or anybody." Because going to that theater was crazy. So I think my mom, she says that she just knew it then.
And then
she kind of really like took to Raj the moment he saw him.
And your dad also.
My dad also. See, Raj is Raj has that quality because he's that person.
Ask me about it. My mother can fight a war for Raj. In my household, if my cousins are talking about any XYZ actor, my mother will suddenly come. This Bengali mother, ferocious, she'll come. But Rajen মতন ভালো ছেলে হয়ই
কিন্তু
না।
কেন সে জামাই, বাঙালি জামাই?
হ্যাঁ, জামাই এখন ছেলে বানিয়েছে, ছেলে।
কেন আমিও তোমার মেয়ে এখন?
এইবার তো কিচ্ছু
এখন তুমি ওকে জামাই বলবে।
Fact. But you know, Are you the friend who's great at giving advice to other friends, or you go to your certain friends who you are very close to for advice on life?
I do go. I have couple of friends from you know, Nayan. Also, I want to tell you, I would like to share this. Like, people say that two actresses cannot be friends, and they say that this industry is so fake that you cannot find friends here. I've found my deepest bonds, friendship bonds with people from this industry. You know, some of them are directors, some of them are technicians. Huma is a person who's really, really close to my heart, and I kind of take advice from her. I take advice from Raj and the other friends that I have. And I'm so blessed that in an industry like this, I've found such deep connections with people.
And are you good at advice?
I believe so. You have to ask them this.
Absolutely. We'll ask them together.
Yeah, done.
We'll ask them together. You know, there are so many times friendship has taken a very important meaning in today's generation, because not every love story is like yours and Raj's today, right? When we see the wedding video, I think it is so beautiful, because there's a reason why people have that kind of affinity and love and respect for Raj, because I think वो बोलते हैं ना रब्दा बंदा, मतलब he is that person, you know. Even in that video, that time we didn't know each other so well, but I had seen that video, and the way he goes and he's like, haha, you also put sindoor. I think he has been that one man who's always stood up for people in general. Men, women, kids, and that's a true gentleman, right? You stay with a person like that, you have companionship like that. How would you define it if anybody speaks to you? Because today that's a rarity. Unfortunate that a rarity.
That is a rare thing. I lucked out, Nayan. And secondly, if you see that video closely, you'll be like, there you can see the shock in me when he says, "Mujhe bhi lagao," because not that we thought we'll do something like this, and we didn't even realize that this can go viral, and it did.
Yes.
You know. But that's who Raj is. That's what Raj believes in. And it just is who he is. Now, I don't know. It was just my destiny to find a partner like him.
That is true, because, you know, I do feel that both of you have lucked out with each other. Because today when I look at my friends, I look around, the definition of companionship and the definition of love has changed.
Has become a swipe.
Yeah, it is so strange, right? Like today in a movie where you're talking about breakup and you're asking, but unfortunately that's a bigger reality today, right? People are breaking up on text messages.
Ghosting each other.
I know of people. I don't want to name, but I know of somebody who's not a close friend of mine, but I've heard that person literally say that, no, suggesting to the other person that itni jaldi reply mat kar. अपनी इज्जत खत्म हो जाएगी. That person can see that the person is possibly out of love waiting, but you're making that person wait because you want, like, I should have
an upper hand. Right.
You also must have seen it around.
I've seen so many things. I've seen what you're saying, but I just feel like I don't know. Love finds a way. You know, you shouldn't go looking for it. It'll come to you when it's the right time.
When did you realize that this is the right time to get married? Because you guys were together for so many years.
Actually, the pandemic. The pandemic, because we both were living together, and me, Raj, and our little puppy Gaga, and those 6 months were the best 6 months. We didn't even fight for a day, and you know, it was literally the big boss's house, because you're just stuck. Either you end up hating each other, or you know, like, this is the right decision. And also my dad was quite, you know, my dad and mom were telling me that since a couple of years before the pandemic, that, you know, you've been with him for that many years, think of it. I was like, na, ekhon time na. Jokhon time ashbe, tokhon kore nabo. And also, I want to share this with you. So, after the pandemic was still on, I remember I went home in December 2020. And I told my parents, Raj also had come with me, and we spoke about it, that we are going to get married. And my dad was so freaking thrilled, and we got the date also, November. And in April, my dad passed away. But my mom was like, you must do it, you should do it, because, you know, your dad's going to be there. Because he always knew that that was the date. And of course, it was quite painful. Just to get married because it's one of the most important things in your life. But if you have a partner like Raj, it's quite, it's like a warm hug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Patra, because you spoke about this, there are so many times like the sense of attachment that I have towards you and Raj also comes from the fact that I think all three of us, we are extremely attached to our parents.
Yeah.
And
I know that about you.
Yeah, and that's why I think the kind of attachment that you possibly have towards my mother or Raj possibly has towards my mother, I know the meaning and I know the genuinity of it. And people behind the camera who are watching it wouldn't understand it because they're not here to, like, it's everything is not Instagram story, right? But it is difficult to lose a parent. I constantly live in that fear. And even when I spoke to you about my sister, I get really panic attacks when I get to know anything medically. Like any of my close ones is not doing medically well, and you guys have dealt through that and anchored each other. He also lost his mother very suddenly. You also lost your father very suddenly. His father was suffering, but he lost his father as well. How difficult were those days where you had to celebrate and you knew that the people who you loved the most were not there, and also anchor each other through it?
Yeah. It was difficult, really difficult. But I knew that also because my dad just passed away. He was fine. And he passed away in Shimla, which was really far away from where Shillong is, because he had gone there for work. And I still remember my mom was packing because he was admitted in the hospital. And we were on our way to Shimla. And my mom was like, na kichu hobe na, tumi papa ke bolo je ami kalke eshe jacchi. I'm like, yeah, I'm just reaching. And the thing about your parents passing away is you think they're going to be there for eternity. You never think that your parents can go away, and we also take them for granted. But they do. And I just I just feel like nobody should take their parents and their loved ones for granted, because we're only here for that much time. So make the most out of it. And then the next call that I gave was to my brother, that's no more, apparently. And I know he just went, his brains couldn't take it. And then I don't know what happened at home, because it was really difficult. And what was even worse is, thank God for Raj, and Love Sir. I have to tell this. I cannot not finish this interview without telling about Love Sir and the person he is. So I was shooting in Filmistan, and I got this call. I saw firstly a missed call from my dad, and my dad generally doesn't call. I was like, okay, let me take off my makeup, because it was heavy duty makeup, and I'll call him back. In 15 minutes, I called him back. 15 minutes or half an hour. He did not pick up the call. And I don't know why I felt like something is off. I called up my mom. Her phone was not, it was busy. I called up Raj. That was also busy. I was like, okay, what's happened? Then Raj calls me back and says that, listen, don't panic. Something's happened. We don't know what's happened. The ambulance is reaching the bank right now. He had gone to audit a bank there. And then he's like, I'm calling up Love Sir. He'll know some EP and send the ambulance there or whatever. And I was like, okay, I'm just leaving. In the meantime, to my luck, my driver just got COVID on the sets, and he was sent back an hour before. And I was in such a panic situation, I couldn't drive. So I begged the production to give me a driver, and I was not in my senses.
Absolutely.
Because you don't expect anything to happen to your dad or your mother, I picked up my sister on the way, and we were in chappals and our pants or whatever, like ghar ka kapda, and we just left for the airport. And I was sitting there, and from far I could see Love Sir walking towards us. And I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I can't let you go alone. And I was not that close to him also. I was like, that's so kind of him, he's leaving everything and he's coming. And then whatever happened, he didn't make it, my dad didn't make it. And we had to get his body back to Shillong, right? And without a blink of an eyelid, whether we could afford it or not even once was asked to me or to Raj. He booked a private charter from Chandigarh to Shillong. That's the person he is. That's who Loves Her is. He's a friend's friend. And for me, he's the most important person after my family. I'll give my life for Loves Her. Because it takes a lot, to do that. It's not about the monies, it's not about anything. But it's just, you need to have that kind of jigra.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's about the heart.
It's about the heart.
It is truly about that.
I think it's gotten a little. let's. No, I'm not crying.
But I want to tell you that you are an amazing person, and that is what everybody who knows you will be proud of. Because you know, I'm very bad with those kind of messages that everything will be fine and all of that, because I personally that is my biggest fear, and I know that I will never take kindly to those kind of messages. So I never message that. Because मेरे को होता ही नहीं है, मतलब मैं ना, मेरी मम्मी को पता है कि मैं भाग जाता हूँ उस जगह से.
I know what you're saying.
It's a very bad thing, but I just can't handle it, and I keep running away. I keep running away, and I keep running away. Maybe it's a very bad thing in me also. But I still want to tell you that somewhere deep down, our parents genuinely are always gonna be alive within us. Because the kind of values, we are similar to them in some way or the other. And they will always stay within us.
I know.
And talking about, I know it's become very heavy.
Yes, but one last thing I want to tell you, this talking about what you're saying, they are there, Nayan. I want to tell you something. On the day of Wild release, your iPhone has that photo thing, memory, and it keeps showing like some random photos from your collection. Okay. The only photo that came on the day of Wild's release was my dad's.
Wow.
Before that, I never really understood that, okay, how can they be there? But 2 days back, I knew it that he's with me. Because why? Never this happens.
No, there is some divine connection for sure, because they never leave us. They're just around us. But at the same time, when we talk about living with Raj, we have only seen the good side and everything, but you are living in with him. I want to know, what are the habits of Raj that you have tolerated, and what are the habits of yours that he's tolerated?
Raj, first habit I tolerate is he's super clean. Okay, and because of that, I have to be super clean. I am from a boarding school, boss. I like throwing my wet towel here, my shorts there, my t-shirt. He can't tolerate it.
What?
Yeah, he's like, no, don't do that, And I'm like, okay, for you, you're a good person, I won't do it. That's the one thing I tolerate about him. He's deeply spiritual. He prays a lot, and I just feel like I really like that about him, because, just to get the kind of success that he's seen. And from nowhere. Listen, he used to cycle 70 kilometers to Delhi and back, 35 to go and come back, because he couldn't afford that 10 rupees. And to be where he is right now, today, it takes a lot of grounding, and I think maybe that spiritual side of him really grounds him, and he never forgets where and why he started.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
There are very few people who have seen this kind of stardom coming from nowhere who are still like this. Honestly, I say this because that is possibly why there's so much goodwill also. People love him. People love him as a person. Artist, so everybody loves him. But people love him as a person, whoever has met him. Thank you to many more conversations.
Thank you.
And I feel that you have a positive aura around you, where you make others feel very comfortable. The job is on us to make you feel comfortable, but I feel that you always make everybody around you feel comfortable, feel loved, feel wanted.
Sure.
And I think there's a beauty in being Patralekhaa, and that's the secret only comes with you, and you would know, I don't know, but thank you for
Thank you,
this warm
Nayan. This
chat.
was really an amazing chat. It was really warm and filled with like a big warm hug.
GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
The Chennai Mobiles Varangum Vivo V40 series. Buy now.
Jensen and Nicholson Paints. Whenever you see color, think of us.